I'd like to bring this meeting to order. The Village of Villa Park Board of Trustees regular meeting, May 13th, 2024. Clerk Konecki, please call the roll.
Trustee Alfano. Trustee Cordova.
Here.
Trustee Corkery.
Here.
Trustee Kozar.
Here.
Trustee Kumar. Here. Trustee Patrick.
Here.
President Kazan.
Here. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together this evening. May we have meaningful discussions that will help us to assist our village in these trying times. Help us to make the decisions that will affect the staff, directors, and residents of Villa Park. Guide us through the challenges we face, and may we approach each other with respect and kindness as one group. In your name, amen. Item 3, amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments proposed? Okay, seeing none. Public comments on agenda items. Clerk Konecki, anyone signed up?
Yes, Cheryl Tucker regarding 14A.
Good evening. I'm just here to thank the trustees for taking into consideration on that special permit that you, event permit, that you did take into account all the other car shows that are in Villa Park. When you decided to make these and make the switch, they appreciate that you did take into account the other car shows that are in Villa Park and are occurring with no incident, that you did take them into consideration when you were making the decision for this special event. So I just want to thank you for doing that.
Okay, thanks, Cheryl.
I have no one else. signed
Anyone else? Okay. Anyone else? Public comments on agenda items? Okay. Public comments on non-agenda items?
up. Yes, Alan Leishman at the Rite of Silence.
Yeah, good evening. My name's Alan Leishman. If we haven't met before, I am chair of the Bike, Pedestrian, and Transit Subcommittee, which is part of the Environmental Concerns Commission here in Villa Park. I know it's a mouthful. But I wanted to start off by thanking the board for considering the proclamation on item 6E, which would recognize National Bike Month. That was a recommendation of our board, and we really appreciate you guys considering it. But the real meat and potatoes of why I wanted to talk to you guys tonight was to make sure that the public was aware of the last event that we're doing for Bike Month, which is this Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. It's called the Ride of Silence. It's an international event, a bike ride to promote bicycle safety and basically in remembrance of cyclists that unfortunately have lost their lives in traffic accidents. So I checked the stats myself on my way over here, and last year alone, Illinois actually had 42 cyclists that died on our roadways. And unfortunately, that's probably going to increase as cycling becomes a more popular form of transportation and recreation around our state. So yeah, Ride of Silence is to basically encourage bicycle visibility, make sure drivers see us while we're out there. Our event this year is going to be starting at 7 p.m. this Wednesday, right out in front of the police station. We're going to go on a short little loop down Ardmore, then east on Madison, north on Villa, and then west on the Great Western Trail back to where we started. We're going to have a police escort, and it's a nice short loop, so it should be a very safe, very easy ride for cyclists of all skill levels and abilities. So I encourage all cyclists in the community to come out and participate. It should be a great event. Obviously, it's a bit of a somber affair, so I'm not going to say it's a fun event, but I do think it's a rewarding thing to be a part of. And yeah, I encourage the board to come out as well. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Al.
Cheryl Tucker regarding the new rec building, referencing new rec building.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Tucker. I'm representing the Park and Rec Commission tonight. We just want the people of Villa Park to be aware that the Park and Rec Commission wants to make sure that we are very transparent about our recommendation of naming the new rec center. So we would like to thank all the Villa Park residents who have called us emailed us and filled out the monkey survey to let us know, Survey Monkey, sorry, get it right. Survey Monkey, that have given us information so we know what the residents of Villa Park really would like for this rec center. It's, obviously, we're very excited about it and the development going in, and we know that everybody in Villa Park is as excited as we are to see it get completed and get done properly. So we basically just want them to know, if you feel there is still more that we need to know as a commission, our meeting is tomorrow night that we'll be discussing it. It's on our agenda at 7 o'clock at Iowa Center. So if you feel there's more that we need to know, or there's something that you didn't get a chance to tell us some way or another, please come to our meeting and let us know, because we definitely want to know what the residents want done, because this is your building, and we want to make sure it's done properly. Thank you.
Thanks, Cyril.
And Bob Wagner regarding spring sweep.
Thank you. Bob Wagner, Chair of the Environmental Concerns Commission. Just wanted to remind the Villa Park community that our annual spring sweep will be this coming Saturday, May 18th, from 9 a.m. to noon. And we'll have a lot of the same vendors we had as last year. We're going to have E-Paint Recycling, Working Bikes, Capital Metals, Lions Club, Scarce, Simple Recycling, and of course, paper shredding, electronics recycling. I know I'm leaving something out here, but we always get a great response, 400-plus cars. This year, some of our reliable partners who volunteered at the event are not able to attend. So I'd like to make an appeal. I know there will be a good contingent of commissioners from the Environmental Concern Commission and the Community Focus on Unifying Neighbors Commission, but we'd like to take the stress and load off the staff as much as possible. So if you have time and you'd like to volunteer, we'd encourage folks to come out and volunteer for Spring Sweep. It's a great event. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
That's all. I have no one else signed up.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Public comments on non-agenda items? All right. Well, so you're going to hear me talk a lot tonight. We have 5 proclamations. Our first is National Safe Boating Week. For over 100 million Americans, boating continues to be a popular recreational activity. From coast to coast and everywhere in between, people are taking to the water and enjoying time together boating, sailing, paddling, and fishing. During National Safe Boating Week, the U.S. Coast Guard and the National Safe Boating Council, along with federal, state, and local safe boating partners, encourage all boaters to explore and enjoy America's beautiful waters responsibly. Safe boating begins with preparation. The Coast Guard estimates that human error accounts for most boating accidents, and that life jackets could prevent nearly 75% of boating fatalities. Through basic boating safety procedures, carrying life-saving, emergency, distress, and communication equipment, wearing life jackets, attending safe boating courses, participating in free boat safety checks, and staying sober when navigating, we can help ensure boaters on America's coastal, inland, and offshore waters that they stay safe throughout the season. National Safe Boating Week is observed to bring attention to important life-saving tips for recreational boaters so that they can have a safer, more fun experience out on the water throughout the year. And whereas on average 650 people die each year in boating-related accidents in the U.S., approximately 3/4 of those fatalities caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment, and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors, and whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets, and whereas today's life jackets are more comfortable, more attractive, and more wearable than styles of years past. Therefore, I, Nick Cazone, Village President of the Village of Villa Park, do hereby support the goals of the North American Safe Boating Campaign, the Wear It campaign, and proclaim May 18th through 24th, 2024 as National Safe Boating Week, and urge all those who boat to wear it and practice safe boating habits. And our next proclamation, recognizing May 2024 as Military Appreciation Month. And whereas the Village of Villa Park has a long history of recognizing all military service members, past and present, whereas May 2024 is recognized as National Military Appreciation Month, calling all Americans to remember those who gave their lives in defense of freedom and to honor the men and women of the Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force who have served or are now serving our country. And whereas the Village of Villa Park extends its deepest gratitude towards all veterans, service members, and their families for their dedication, and whereas the Village of Villa Park will hold a ceremony for all service members and veterans on Monday, May 27th, 2024, at 11 a.m. at Cortese Veterans Memorial Park, 320 East Kenilworth Avenue in Villa Park. Now therefore, I, Nick Cazone, President of the Village of Villa Park, do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Military Appreciation Month in the Village of Villa Park. And I would like to extend my own thanks to all of our servicemen, past and present. Our trustee, Kevin Patrick, who's a veteran of the Coast Guard, so he's in here twice, the safe boating and military appreciation, so congratulations.
Thank you.
The next proclamation recognizing May 19th through 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week, advancing quality of life for all. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Villa Park. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Villa Park to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week, and this year's theme is Advancing Quality of Life for All, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Nick Cazone, Village President of Villa Park, do hereby recognize May 19th through 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week in the Village of Villa Park. I urge all residents to join with the village in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. And I would like to also congratulate our Public Works Department. I think they do a great job. They do a lot of work with a limited staff, and they do excellent work. Keep the village going. Thank you. It's a proclamation recognizing May 5th through 11th, 2024 as the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the Village of Villa Park. And whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and the agencies of government at other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas the Village of Villa Park recognizes the accomplishments of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk. Now therefore be resolved, I, Nick Cazone, President of the Village of Villa Park, along with the Village Board of Trustees, do hereby proclaim the week of May 5th through May 11th, 2024, as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the Village of Villa Park, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Hosanna Korinecki, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. And thank you, Hosanna, for doing this job for several years. You do a great job. Thank you. And our last proclamation is the Villa Park Bicycle Month Proclamation from the League of the American Bicyclists. And whereas the bicycle is an economical, healthy, convenient, and environmentally sound form of transportation, and an excellent tool for recreation and enjoyment of Villa Park's scenic beauty. And whereas throughout the month of May, the residents of Villa Park and its visitors will experience the joys of bicycling through educational programs, races, commuting events, charity events, or by simply getting out and going for a ride. And whereas Villa Park's road and trail system attracts bicyclists each year, providing economic health, transportation, tourism, and scenic benefits. And whereas creating a bicycling-friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, growing the economy of Villa Park, attracting tourism dollars, improving traffic safety, supporting student learning outcomes, and reducing pollution, congestion, and wear and tear on our streets and roads. And whereas the Villa Park Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Transit Subcommittee will be promoting bicycling during the month of May 2024, and whereas these groups are also promoting bicycle tourism each year-round to attract more visitors to enjoy our local restaurants, hotels, retail establishments, and cultural and scenic attractions. And whereas these groups are also promoting greater public awareness of bicycle operation and safety education in an effort to reduce collisions, injuries, and fatalities, and improve health and safety for everyone on the road. Now therefore, I, Nick Cazone, President of the Village of Villa Park, do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Bike Month in Villa Park, and I urge all residents to join me in this special observance. And as we heard from our Bike and Pedestrian Committee, there's a ride this Saturday, Wednesday at 7 o'clock to promote bicycle safety. So thank you. All right, if you're tired of hearing from me, we go to item 7, is a presentation, Dr. Barbonetti, presentation on District 88.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Good evening. Is this, you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Good evening to everyone. I appreciate your time. Thank you to President Cazone and to Village Manager Harline. And wanted to first start off by thanking all of the village trustees and just village staff, Chief Rivas, Chief Stapleton, just for an incredible relationship that we've had between District 88 and the Village of Villa Park for many, many years. This is my 30th year in District 88, and we are so blessed to have the incredible support that we have from our communities, and we really appreciate the partnerships we've had. So I wanted to start off by just saying thank you, but also really appreciate your time tonight just to share a few things that are happening in District 88 and just give an update on some of the great things going on at Willowbrook High School and some of the work our board is doing. So I will be brief, I promise, and again, just thank you for this opportunity. So I just wanted to share a little bit about District 88. Those, I know probably everyone in this room is pretty familiar with who we are, but when we kind of share out in the community and at different organizations, kind of who we are by the numbers. As you know, we have two high schools, Willowbrook High School and Addison Trail High School. And we share out kind of some of the highlights of District 88. We kind of put this together as a District 88 by the numbers piece. So in District 88, we have a big commitment to early college coursework and preparation for our students for post-secondary. And so just some numbers to share. So last year, our families saved about $1.4 million in college tuition by our students earning college credit with us. We also have had a big focus on career pathways. We've shifted quite a bit in our curriculum, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But last year, we had our students earned over 1,000 career certifications. And so when we talk about career pathways, we have now 17 different career pathways that our students can choose from, and that encompasses all of the coursework that goes within that pathway, which in many cases is dual credit and/or advanced placement credentialed, but also has industry credentials. So when we talk about our career pathways in District 88, whether it's the autos program, the food, our culinary arts program, students are coming out with industry credentials. So in our autos program, they're coming out with ASC certification, NATEF certification, things that will mean something, to an employer. And so last year we had about 1,000 certifications earned. As you know, District 88 is one of the most diverse school districts in the state of Illinois. So that really is an asset, and it's something that we value. And we have a tremendous linguistic diversity, so over 51 languages spoken across the district. And so everything that we do, every decision we make has to be done with a lens that is culturally responsive, that is really taken into consideration that the majority of our students speak at least 2 languages. And so that's an asset students bring to school, and so we want to make sure that we're able to help them develop that to the fullest. We now have, the state of Illinois has established what's called a seal of biliteracy, which is a credential that students can earn on their diploma. They test in 2 languages, English and their second language, and they can earn a seal on their diploma that it actually transfers to college credit and industry credentials. So that's another area that's been really expanded. We had 200 students that tested this year and earned that credential. And then we have kept our graduation rates at 90%. We do that because our board has been very focused on making sure that we have multiple and flexible pathways for all students that come to us. So we have a tremendously wide range of student need. And so in addition to having students that we're preparing for the most competitive environments across the country and needing college coursework from the time they enter our high schools, we also have a very, very wide range of programming for students that come to us with different unique needs, unique disabilities, and so we also have very robust and high-quality programming for all students, no matter how they come to us, in terms of we meet them where they are and we're able to program for them. And so that's really kind of what sets District 88 apart, we believe, from many other places, and that something that we're very, very proud of. So very recently, our board embarked upon a strategic plan update, if you will, and they felt strongly about it. In addition to updating the mission and vision, identifying goals that can be measurable and transparent to the public. So this is kind of the first draft of the strategic plan. You can access it online with a QR code. The board also felt very strongly about having a dashboard that would show how we're measuring the different goals in the plan. So we want this to be a live action plan that the district is using to really guide our work. And so this is live. So you can also see this online. And all of these areas are drop downs where you can see the graphs of how we're trending in these areas. And then it'll be updated annually. So it's something that is our commitment to the public to ensure that we're being accountable and transparent to our work and to all of our stakeholders. So in terms of mission and vision, so the board really kept that diversity in the district at the forefront of decisions. So mission really is to prepare students for college, to be college and career ready in a diverse society, right? So we have the blessing in our district to have students from every background imaginable, as well as every continent, and as I said, tremendous linguistic diversity, and that's an incredible environment for our students to be able to be prepared then for the world that awaits them when they leave us. In terms of the vision, as I said, a lot of focus on individualized pathways. So making sure that we have environments that are rigorous, that are inclusive, and that we have multiple options for students. So we used to be very prescriptive, kind of a one-size-fits-all. Every student takes biochem physics, for example. We now have really diversified in our offerings. So that's, again, 17 different career pathways, and just many ways for students to access college and career preparation. So one area that has been a big focus is that of looking at the needs of the workforce, okay? Things are changing rapidly, certainly in public education. So the focus used to be really on preparing students for college. Now we're really looking at what the career industry is requiring. And we have obviously shortages in many areas across the workforce. We're really watching that trending. And so now we have students accessing much earlier career pathway opportunities. So in addition to their coursework, we've resurrected all the work-based learning programs. Our students are accessing paid internships and apprenticeships across the communities, and also just really opening up the options to not only for what we offer on our campuses, but you may or may not know that we also co-own the Technology Center of DuPage in Addison. So that is, we are part of the DEOS, cooperative, if you will. And so the programs that we can't house on our campus because we don't have the facilities, they can house. So everything from welding to criminal justice to cosmetology, all the rest of the career programs that our students need. So we have 175 students going to the Tech Center next year. We had to do that. Our board had to look at our graduation requirements and start to look at how we can be a little bit more flexible. So instead of a third-year science, for example, allowing students who are going to access a capstone career pathway, they're allowed to do that in lieu of that third-year science, for example. Looking at ways to be, with PE exemptions as well. We have a very high PE requirement across the state of Illinois, but looking at how if students are accessing, apprenticeship programs, the school code allows for them to then, not be in PE, for example. So being creative around how to help students access the programs that they want and that are going to meet the needs of the workforce for sure. So obviously, in terms of the strategic plan, reading and math, obviously looking how our students are trending on assessments. We have been SAT based up until now. There is a very high possibility that ACT could be, we could be shifting back to ACT at the state level next year. So depending on how all that settles, whether it's SAT or ACT, a heavy focus in preparing our students for that exam for sure, across all of our programs. We also, as I said, watching graduation rates. So in order to keep our students at a 90% graduation rate, we have to have options. So if students come to us, for example, from another school, from their home country, behind on credit, we have many entry points where we can, bring students in and accelerate them, to graduation. So everything from, we still have a virtual learning academy open. We had a small group of students in each building that were very successful in that model. So that is an option for students, to full online curriculum that they access with us on campus, to, of course, every, other possibility in between in terms of our programs. And then, as I said, we have, in terms of early college courses, we have about 30 advanced placement courses, 50 dual credit courses, and our students earned about 3,000 college credits last year. So those are the kinds of things we're tracking on that front. Extracurricular participation has been high priority of our board, as you know, and we've appreciated the support and the recognition of our kids over the last year. This was a big Title IX year in District 88, so between girls flag football, girls volleyball successes, we have a full girls wrestling team, we have full girls and boys bowling, full esports, competitive video gaming. In fact, Willowbrook had the first state qualifier this past month. And so lots of very creative new activities that are also available to our kids, and that's also a high priority for our board. And then, of course, a big expansion of our mental health supports. We've got, right now it's 1 in 5 is the statistic across the country of students experiencing some kind of mental health crisis. So that our board had to really expand supports, more counselors, more social workers, more psychologists, and more clinical services on campus. So that also will continue. But, on the front end, really trying to help kids connect, before they're in a position where they need services. Our schools as well do the signs of suicide screening, so that's something that we also pay attention to, and finding ways to, really help our teachers identify warning signs. So we also have implemented the mental health first aid curriculum this past year. So a lot of effort there. And then lastly, we just high priority on our family engagement, so looking to expand our parent programs. We continue to work at that. We have lots, happening in person as well as online. Our parents have found that it's very convenient to connect via Zoom, so we've kept some of that in place. And then, our board really values our community partnership, so that's in the plan, and we're really going to hold ourselves accountable to just strengthening our relationships and expanding partnership opportunities with the community agencies and local businesses. And then lastly, District 88 has had a very long history of sound fiscal management, and so we continue to have the highest ratings from the state board, as well as a AA1 rating from Moody. And that allows us to maintain our facilities and be accountable with all we've been given from the taxpayers. So in terms of projects, we have, a lot, we've just authorized a 5-year facility study by our new architects. We have a new architectural firm that's local here in Lombard, close to us. And so just looking at facility needs across our both campuses, we had to replace all the athletic turf in both campuses this year. We have a new culinary arts facility being built at Addison Trail next year. As you know, we have a new concession stand at Willowbrook that just was completed. And so new softball facilities will be upgraded at Willowbrook on the horizon, as well as auditorium upgrades. So a lot of needs there. And so we're just going to be one piece at a time over the next several years. So this is all, again, on the dashboard and available to the public. So I would just encourage, if you have any interest in seeing how we're trending in any of these areas, I would encourage you to take a look there and certainly reach out to us. My door is open anytime to meet with community members, parents, anyone that has questions about the district or any concerns. But again, we thank you for your partnership and for your time tonight, and appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And you guys, it's great seeing, you're adapting to as times are changing, District 88 is changing. I've been involved off and on with the board for a long time, and it's one thing I always tell people, the District 88 school board is really good. They look out for the students, they look out for the community. They do a great job. And staff, obviously, staff does a lot of work, does a great job.
Absolutely. Incredible
Trustee
board.
Kumar.
Yeah, I just, very thankful that you came out. I would like that the district continue to work with the village, and anything you need and anything we need, we'd like a nice, good partnership between all of us to continue. I know that Spaces, the village is building a new community center, that, we have some possibilities there for like co-partnerships on. There is always an issue with the swimming pool. As you know, it's a consistent issue in Villa Park. So that is something that in the future, maybe we should consider a co-partnership in discussing at one point. There are many things. As you know, my Neerja just went through District 88. I'm very, very proud. I am a graduate of District 88 myself. I'm sitting next to a graduate of District 88. We do stay in the community. We love you. You do a great job, and thank you for whatever you do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there's 4 of us up here, so us two as well. So.
Great.
A 5, you got 5.
Yeah,
Trustee.
5.
Go.
Yeah. Oh,
Great,
that's
thank you.
incredible. Yeah,
Well, thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for coming up here.
sure, absolutely.
Okay, we'll move on to item 8A, is a reappointment of David Whitaker as a member of the Police Pension Board for a term through July 30th, 2026. And we have a motion for the appointment. Trustee Patrick?
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, second. Trustee Cordova? Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, Clerk Kornecki, please.
Okay, Trustee Corkery?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
President Kazone?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda. The bill listings from the weeks April 22nd, April 29th, May 1st, and May 6th, 2024, for a total amount of $719,529.84. Approval of the minutes of the April 22nd, 2024 Committee of the Whole and the Village Board of Trustees meeting, and the acceptance of the minutes from Coffee with the Board, April 6th, 2024, and May 4th, 2024 meetings. We have a motion for the consent agenda. Trustee Kozar?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a second. Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Questions or comments? Okay, Clerk Konecki, please.
Okay, trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Corkery?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
President Kazone?
Yes. Okay, item 10A is a first reading of an ordinance amending section 13-1116 of the Villa Park Municipal Code with respect to pavement cuts within the village right-of-way for facility installation or repair. Manager Harline.
This ordinance would amend Section 13-1116 of the Village Code to better define the restrictions on making pavement cuts within the village for the installation of utility facilities. This ordinance would give the village manager the authority to set parameters and escrow payments for those individuals who want to make pavement cuts before the end of the moratorium after a street is upgraded. Staff recommends approval of the ordinance. And myself and Director Guerra can give you any details. We had a specific case come up recently at 310 Astor Court, and that's the reason for bringing this forward at this time.
Okay, good. Okay, any questions or comments from the board on the ordinance, or if anyone wants to waive the first reading? Trustee Kozar.
I would make a motion to waive the first reading, primarily because I think Astor Court is waiting for this amendment to be made, so it's slowing them down in the construction. So that said, make a motion to waive the first reading.
Okay, we have a second on that motion. Trustee Alfano,
Yes.
questions or comments? Okay, Clerk Konecki, this is to waive the first reading.
Okay, trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Corkery?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
President Kazone?
Yes. Okay, any questions? We already. Motion, okay. A motion to approve the ordinance amending section 13-1116. Trustee Patrick?
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, we have a second. Trustee Kozar?
I'll second.
Okay. Questions or comments on the ordinance itself? Okay. Clerk Konecki?
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Corkery?
Yes.
Trustee Patrick?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
President Kazone?
Yes. Okay, we will move on to item 13A, is a resolution waiving the bidding requirements and approving an agreement between the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, and Service Master DSI for flood restoration at the Village Police Department in an amount not to exceed $154,570. Manager Harline.
This resolution authorizes the village manager to execute an agreement with Service Master DSI in an amount not to exceed $154,570 for flood restoration and after a sewer backup at the police department, and it waives the bidding requirements. Service Master DSI was contracted to complete the demolition and restoration related to the sewer backup damage. IRMA, the village's risk management provider, has authorized the village to proceed with the building repairs and will cover 100% of the costs associated with the restoration efforts. Staff recommends approval of this resolution, and the police department is eager to see us get started with this process.
I'm sure. Okay, do we have a motion on the resolution? Trustee Cordova?
A motion, yes.
Second, Trustee Patrick?
I'll make that second. Thank you.
Questions, comments? I'd just like to thank Assistant Manager McFay. She really worked hard to get the insurance and Service Master on the same page and get things moving, and especially Irma, because they were taking a long time getting the approval. So thank you for getting that done, and I'm sure PD thanks you immensely. Trustee Kumar.
I'm very happy this is getting done, so on and so forth through Irma, but I am concerned at the condition of this newest building we have in Villa Park. What, is it just a one-off incident, or is this going to be a recurring problem, is my concern.
Well, there's Director Guerra could probably answer this better, but we have detected a specific problem, a pipe that is no longer connected properly. We're going to make that repair, and this should not happen again.
Okay.
Did you want to add anything, Mike? Yeah. Okay. So Yep, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we should be able to repair the problem that happened, and it shouldn't happen in the future. It's kind of hard to, it's one of these things underground, you don't know when it's going to happen, and
It's just when there's flooding in Villa Park, I'm always worried.
Well, yeah, this wasn't flooding, this was
Backup.
Sewer backup.
Yeah, sewer backup. It sometimes happens during the rain and it floods back or whatever.
this-
So
yeah,
I
this
grew
was-
up with that. That's not something pleasant. I wouldn't want it in the police department. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
This is a pipe, the pipe slipped and they were no longer fitting
Okay.
each other
That's a
properly, and
different
that's,
situation. Yes, thank you.
okay. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Clerk Kornecki, please.
Okay, trustee Alfano,
Yes.
trustee Kumar,
Yes.
trustee Cordova,
Yes.
trustee Corkery.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Patrick.
Yes.
President Kazone.
Yes. Okay. We move on to item 14A, unfinished business, is a special event permit update. Manager Hotton.
basically, I asked Police Chief Rivas, and there are other staff here, to be able to present an update on the enforcement efforts along North Avenue, particularly involved with Strat's Restaurant, and I will turn it over to Chief Rivas to explain where we are at in terms of enforcing this new ordinance and the existing ordinance.
Thank you, Manager Harline. Mr. President, as you recall, you would approve the amendments on April 8th for the special event permits. On April 19th, we went ahead and issued a notice to abate to Strat's, as well as 2 citations for failure to secure a special event permit. They were scheduled on April 23rd to then appear at an administrative hearing that'll take place on June 6, 2024. So they'll have their due process then, and then we can give a mini update after that hearing as well. Some empirical data for you since April 8th, as far as our police department's involvement. We've had 115 total calls for service that have taken place on Fridays and Saturdays only when Strat's has had its business, and that entire corridor is very busy. We've had 47 total traffic stops, 24 traffic citations issued, 9 traffic crashes, 3 traffic arrests, 8 extra patrols, 5 loud noise complaints, 1 trespassing call, and it should also be noted how the businesses are being affected in the corridor. The box store Target is no longer allowing for phone-in orders to be delivered out to the cars because of the overrun of vehicles in their parking lot during those times. That's one thing. There's businesses in the corridor who are also hiring back officers to keep vehicles out of their parking lots. And I had just received an email as the meeting had started. There's another business in the corridor that's hired a private company to boot vehicles that are not using their business. And then give them notice, and then they'll let DUCOM know when those vehicles have been booted to the tune of $125 for those vehicles that are parking in those lots and then going to another business and not honoring their business. So it's a serious matter.
Okay,
That's
thank
all I
you.
have this time.
Okay. Anyone on the board have questions or comments for the chief? Thank you, thank you, and hopefully the new development there will take care of our problem
Yes.
as
We are
soon as
hoping as well.
possible.
Question, just, I do have a question. There's gonna be a turnover there in the business there, is that correct?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
believe
When
so.
that happens, we bring this back up to remove this ordinance, or is that, this ordinance is tied to that business? It's not tied to that address, correct?
No, the ordinance is a village-wide ordinance, and we'll probably keep it in place.
All right.
It was written, I think, and I think resident came up earlier and just said, it's written in a way that the car shows that are doing things properly, it's not going to affect them. So we'll probably, just keep the ordinance as is.
Yeah, the original legislation applies across the village as a whole, so it doesn't apply to just one entity. And the special event permit requirement as well is required when, in fact, there are special events. So the recent ordinance that was passed clarified what a special event was, and also added some regulations regarding what a nuisance was, but those will still apply.
Trustee Alfano.
So with that said, if there is another business in town that is looking to do car shows, they would then need to have a permit and go through this and follow this whole ordinance, correct?
Correct.
And if it fits the parameters of the ordinance.
Okay.
If they're using other people's parking lots and that sort of thing, they need to get, they're blocking, they're getting to the point where we have to have police to keep the street, traffic flowing, then yes, they will be expected to
Okay.
get.
Or if it's in a strip mall or something of that nature?
Yeah, if they look to move this to another location in town, then this law is applicable across the village, so it would be enforced there as well.
Sounds good, thank you.
Trustee Kumar.
Yeah, and I would want to kind of look at this ordinance in a couple, to look at the effectiveness at one point, in a couple months and just bring it up as old business if possible. Just to see, get an update from the chief on how effective it's been, what's happening, given that we are going to have changes with the strats. We did kind of tailor it to strats, but who knows what's going to come up in the world of special events and how we're going to have to deal with it in the future. So it's always good to keep a global perspective.
Sure. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Okay, item 14B is a presentation by Hawthorne Development Corporation, the Garden Station Ecoterra Development Project for discussion only.
Just basically, in the last couple of, I don't know, since there, well, we sent out a letter to Hawthorne letting them know that we were, that we believe that they had breached some of the requirements in the amended redevelopment agreement, and then we waited for a response, and we got one recently, and they asked to come and make a presentation in front of the board. Again, as we've said many times, it's always in our best interest to get this project to work, because anything else is going to take a long time to sort through. And they're here tonight. I think I'll let them speak for themselves with the belief that they've got something that will move forward. So.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, we have representatives here from Hawthorne. Whoever would like to start off, you could please state your name.
Should go up there. Yeah, you bet. No problem.
Okay. I'm Nick Standiford. I'm a land use and zoning attorney at Shane Banks. We represent villages across northwest Chicago, and we also represent private clients. One of our private clients is Hawthorne Development. And Hawthorne Development is developing the property located over near the metro station that everyone knows about. Everyone's seen, it's right down the street. You could walk there. The CEO is here tonight, Dr. Vish. He is I asked him before the hearing, what is the doctor? And he says it's quantitative methods. So I didn't know that, and I still don't know what that means, but it sounds good. He's the CEO and president of Hawthorne. The CFO is Karthika. We call her Kika. Kika, if you want to raise your hand, that's Kika. She answers all the financial questions. And then the partner and VP of operations is here. That's Yolanda Contreras, who I've known for a long time. And Nick Pancato is here. Nick, if you want to raise your hand, you know Nick. He's the supervisor of construction. We also have Terrace, I understand. Terrace, if you want to raise your hand. He is working on some of the upkeep on the site currently. So those are the folks we brought here tonight. We wanted to show a unified front. These are all people who have invested their hearts and souls into this project and all the twists and turns that it's taken. So we're here tonight to discuss the status of the project. Obviously, it doesn't look like this right now. This is the vision. But I'll explain tonight what we are looking for from the village in order to move this project forward. So let me start with this slide, actually. So the project history. I'm a history major from undergrad, and my dad told me that was pre-unemployment. And he was right for a while, but then I became a lawyer, and the history finally comes into play. So this project has a lot of history, and actually it was hard to distill the history into one slide. There were so many events and twists and turns, it kind of reads like a novel, and I'm sure the village, would rather not see that novel and all those twists and turns, but as we go through this, you'll see that the status of the site and where we've come and where we are now is not Hawthorne's fault. So in May of 2020, Hawthorne submitted the development proposal to make the project that you just previously saw for this EcoTerra Garden Station project, which is supposed to be the largest passive house project in the country with 348 eco-luxury apartments that relies on solar and battery and is eco-friendly. So you've seen some articles expressing how exciting this would be if it gets off the ground, and we still believe that. So that was in May of 2020. In August of 2021, the village approved the development agreement with Hawthorne. And under that agreement, Hawthorne was required to have financing in place by September of 2021. Hawthorne had financing in place as of September of 2021. The problem was a senior lender named Apollo defaulted. They were at closing, Apollo didn't send the money, okay? That's a huge problem, not Hawthorne's fault. What happened was Apollo actually recorded a mortgage against the property, and that encumbered the property, and we had to sue Hawthorne. Marty Schwartz at my firm from Shane Banks had to sue, Hawthorne had to sue Apollo to get that mortgage taken off the property. And when you have a mortgage recorded and we have this Apollo defaulting, no lender is going to step in and give you money. So after that default happened in September, Hawthorne tried to get Apollo to get the money, and they kept getting promises from Apollo that they would have the money for them. And it went around and around, so finally they had to sue. But in any event, Hawthorne starts spending their own money. They start taking down the structures, disconnecting structures. They paid $350,000 for a development permit. In March of 2022, you start seeing all those structures come down. Some of the tenants there had to be evicted because they wouldn't leave, and they asked for exorbitant sums to leave the premises. And you can't lose sight of what happened during this time. The market had changed dramatically with inflation, supply chain constraints, COVID work shutdowns, and high interest rates. It's a perfect storm of bad luck. But in any event, they persevere and they demo the structures. They get another lender in place, this Prime Capital. And in May 2022, Prime Capital defaults. And as you see in the letter, I don't know if all the board members got to see the letter, but the lender was not a super savory figure. And I'll just let you read that. But in June of 2022 through November, site work continues. The parking lot is finalized and delivered in November of 2022. That's the parking lot that the village is supposed to get a deed free and clear to. Unfortunately, because there was a mortgage on there, the village couldn't get the parking lot at that time. And then in March of 2023, that's when Hawthorne has to get a bridge loan for $3 million. And with that bridge loan comes expensive payments that need to be made that Hawthorne was making. And the bridge loan, here's the big problem. When the bridge loan came through, they used the parking lot from the village as collateral, right? And that's why Hawthorne was not able to convey it free and clear back to the village. And so I'll skip forward. In August, that's when the village approved the parking easement agreement, where the village actually has a 99-year easement over that parking lot. I'll skip past the April 2023 lender thing. I think there's a dispute as to what the village told the lender, but it sounds like the village did clear that up, and we appreciate that. But then Dr. Vish is not an unfamiliar face here. He's been here a couple times asking for amendment to the development agreement. I've watched those videos, and I feel like I've got to know all of you up here, and I appreciate the opportunity to finally meet you. But they're asking for an amendment to the development agreement so that they can get this project off the ground. And this is the request. So they're seeking to extend the plan unit development, which expires pretty soon. So I think it expires next month. So they're asking for you to extend that, and you have to do so either this month in May, I think you have a meeting maybe next week or in 2 weeks, and then once again in June before this date runs. So we're going to be asking for that extension of the planned development. We'd also like for 90 days, we have an amendment that within 90 days of signing that amendment of the development agreement, the Hawthorne will provide proof of financing. They'll provide term sheets, things like that, to show you that they have financing in place. Within 120 days, we'll start construction, and we will convey the deed to the parking lot. How do we do that? Once they get the loan, once they get this loan money, they'll be able to give away they'll be able to pay off all the bridge lender, and he'll then release the mortgage on the village lot. So that's a good thing. And then within 2 years of the building permit, then we can complete construction. So that's the quickest that this project can get built, because no developer is sitting here asking for this and has plans in place, building permit ready to go. It's going to be years until any new developer comes around. So we are asking for amendment to the development agreement in that, along those lines. And so when I watched the last videos of these meetings, the board rightfully said, well, what's the status on financing, right? That's the million-dollar question. Well, it's actually a lot more than $1 million, but here's the financing update. There's private so we came to you previously with public funding sources, right? Fortunately, we've had some private funding interest. We have 2 term sheets that we've received, and it's no affordable housing in the new lender requirements. So this is a very good development. It's just happened recently. We were just able to send the LOI, the letters of intent term sheets to Matt and the president and the village manager. So they are redacted with the names, because we don't want them to be contacted at this point until we have an amendment to the development agreement in place and they know that we can move forward. So we have sent those documents. We are really excited for those opportunities, but we need the development agreement to be amended in order for these loans to become a reality. So those are the 2 senior loans. That's exciting. Another thing that we need to do is do pro formas. And the construction start date, we say, is September now. We've revised the pro formas. There are actually 2 that you need. You need a TIF pro forma and you need a developer pro forma. Okay, so I put here that we are in the process of revising the TIF pro forma, and that we'll revise the developer pro forma once we get the TIF one done. Dr. Vish pushed to have the pro formas done before the meeting, and we just got them in about 30 minutes while you all were in committee of the whole. So Matt and his team are going to review those, and hopefully by the next board meeting, you'll have some insights for us as to whether you think those are doable. But we've shown you what we have and what we've done, and I think that's what was missing at the last couple meetings. You're probably wondering, okay, what about this site? Why does it look like it does? So we're going to be repairing the torn fabrics, repairing loose portions of the fence, pulling weeds, etc. Terrace was out there today, and I guess the rain prevented a lot of the work, but I'm told that it can be done in a couple of days or weeks or so to get it looking better than it is now. I drove by it, and I know that there's some fences that are kind of tippy-toppy, and some of the screens are down, but Dr. Vish is committed to getting those fixed up so that it looks good next to the metro station. So, I think that's it. I put a picture of the project on the slide, in the last slide, just because, to me, this is what it's all about, right, is the vision. So our hope is that you can let us realize that vision by amending the development agreement and extending the planned development. And we're happy to answer any questions and appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Patrick.
Thank you. I guess this is for our village manager and maybe Director McLaughlin. If we, as a board up here, do decide to extend or give a new RDA, which they're looking for, what's the risk to the village if we do this?
The same, right? Yes. It's just the same, just nothing, right?
I mean, essentially, the risk is that you don't have the development
Right.
move forward.
And if this development doesn't happen, it could be a very long time before another one comes along for this location. Is that correct?
That's likely. I mean, you never know, but that's probably correct.
Yeah, Director McLaughlin.
Right. They also own the property, so it's completely up to them how they wanted to move forward if an RDA isn't approved. They have the rights to the ownership of the land, and if they don't want to move forward, that's their choice as a property owner.
Within the agreement of a potentially new RDA, you talked about having proof of financing within 90 days of it being signed. Will there be any language within that agreement if that does not happen?
Yeah, those are the terms that we've discussed internally, and obviously through the presentation, they just put a close but different timeline, which would have then repercussions at the end of those. But what those are at this point, we do not know because we haven't engaged with the redrafting of an RDA.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if it's in there as, 90 days from the signing, if the financing's not there, then it's a default on the RDA, and then we can do it,
Right.
We also talked about potential language that it would be an automatic termination of the agreement if their financing wasn't submitted within that 90-day period.
The best case scenario still remains that this financing comes through. And the comments about the lenders that fell through, I mean, that's fair. I mean, those aren't things that those are things that are to a great degree or entirely beyond the Hawthorne's power to change or to affect. But the simple fact is that because of those things and because of the market and et cetera, it's brought us to where we are. And in the previous iteration, when we were trying to get an RDA together, we worked with Ann Maroney, we worked with other people, and we could not get any confidence that those numbers would come through. Private money with fewer restrictions is a definite improvement. This would be this is a much better sounding agreement, as long as they don't back out.
So far with what you've been presented, what is your take? Are you comfortable with the board agreeing to a new RDA?
We were just presented the information, as he said, during COW.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't even opened the spreadsheet yet.
Right.
So then, being that this is just discussion only, this is something that'll be coming back, I'm assuming, as either another discussion topic or for some sort of action in 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, we know the request, obviously, and they've submitted what we've been asking for, and we are going to check that it meets all the criteria. And as they just pointed out, it's a completely different funding source.
Okay.
So we're going to do our internal review and then internal discussion and move forward with course of action.
I think this project is important. This is a project that I was very excited about when you first came into town here. Just the environmental aspect of it and the impact that could have on our area, as well as not just the regional, but the global recognition for a building that you are talking about. I would be in favor of potentially signing a new RDA to get this project going if our staff comes back and says that this is favorable for them. Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Kumar.
Yeah, I'd like to say that part of the problem we were having is a complete lack of information from Hawthorne. And it has been disgruntling to many of our employees in the past who are dealing with this. So I ask that you keep the communication loop going and clear from step one to step two. I do appreciate the walk down of the history of what happened. And I do believe that and hope that this project will actually get underway, and we will do our best to make that happen. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Anyone else? Trustee Cordova.
So in 30 days, we'll know, right? Like just, we say yes, which I told you last time, I'm like a hard no. This is That's horrible, right? Every time we have something nice that comes up in Villa Park, we get to celebrate it. We have a new rec center going in. We're gonna have a lot of developments going in, but what about that thing over there? Why is the fence broken? Why is there rubble? Why is there weeds? If it were hidden in the side or in the back of the town, fine, right? But this is thousands of people just driving by on the trains. When we take kids to the parks, down the street, soccer, baseball, wherever it's at, we have to look at that every single day. Again, I'm a hard no, right? I don't know what you're going to do to get me to be a yes. We've asked for proof of financing. I'm fairly new, and this is my second time. I've been here for a year. Second time I've seen them in my life. Never got an email, anything like that. We get emails a lot from people developing or want to develop. Haven't heard from you guys at all. The first time I've seen you, Nick. First time that guy, you, and someone else. You were here last time. How are we supposed to trust you guys, right? And then you're saying, hey, give us another 30 days, give us another this. I think the RDA or that timeline ended at this month, is that correct? Or it ends at this month?
June 14th.
June 14th?
14th is when the 3 years on the zoning expires without an extension.
So it's been
without a
almost
one-year
3
extension.
years. And this is what we have. This is what we have. This is what you've done. This is what you bought to Villa Park. A broken promise and rubble with a broken fence. I don't know.
Okay. Good. Trustee Alfano.
I think that Trustee Kumar kind of, she articulated what I was feeling, because I kind of am in between what you've just heard from the two trustees that recently spoke. I am also fairly new to the board, so I wasn't here when this was originally approved. But I have yielded a lot of complaints over, this looks horrible, this makes us look horrible. And they're not exactly wrong. But I think that the breakdown in communication and the breakdown of misunderstanding, that breakdown in communication leads to that misunderstanding. And that does lead to some distrust. And I really do think if we keep that line of communication open, as Trustee Kumar was talking about, I believe that with that piece in place, this could be a yes for me.
Okay. We did have a meeting last Wednesday. Director McLaughlin, Manager Harline, myself, Attorney Wolf, and sorry, Assistant Manager was there. Sorry about that, Susan. And one of the things that was brought up is that we can talk and talk. If he's not happy, if she's not happy, and if she's not happy, then the board will not be happy. So now they've got this new pro forma that's coming in, so they'll take a look at it, and if it is valid, because the previous ones were not, if this one is valid, then I think that would make everybody a lot happier up here. But we'll see. We'll see after the review. We told them, if they're happy, I'm all for this going ahead. 100%, but these guys got to be happy first. Trustee Patrick.
I would just like to offer the developer another opportunity to speak if you want to address any of the comments or concerns that you've heard up here. I know that you are motioning for another individual to come up and speak on your behalf. The more we hear, the better. So if you have more to say, please.
No, I was just going to invite the contractor to tell us about when he intends completing the work. He was there today, and they couldn't do much work today because of the rain. And I was just going to ask him to come and say he has promised to complete the work in the next 2-3 days.
Okay.
And then, with respect, that's just the ongoing maintenance at the site to earn trust, but also the financials and the pro formas. So since we've been involved, we had an opportunity to talk with President Kazone and staff, and we hope to continue those discussions. And I told Mr. McLaughlin, like any feedback he has please be open with us about it, and we'll correct it and to get them a product that they can review and approve.
Okay. Trustee Kumar.
I would like to say correction is important, but correction in a timely manner is absolutely essential, because we have only a couple of weeks to make the decision to say yes or no. So immediate correction, he needs to correct it, and we need to see it in an essential time period for us to make a decision. Last minute correction, last minute decisions are going to make us not say yes to this project, which we really hope will go through.
Okay, anyone else?
I mean, just the fact that you came out today to fix the fence, the last time you came to fix the fence, I believe was the last time you were here, which was what, 3 months ago? 2 months ago, 4 months ago? I have no idea. But, it's knocked down. I take that train, I picked up a piece of fence a couple weeks ago because it was knocked down, moved a piece of, a bag of sand. You don't have to say anything, I'm just letting you know.
I think there is, I would say for some reason vandals have been getting in, and I would invite the Villa Park Police to have more patrols around the area. No matter how many times we fix, if some vandals get in and they destroy, then, that's something that falls on us, and we try our best to do that. I think it's time that we get along. And, we just want to make this the pride of Villa Park. I have built fantastic buildings. My project in City of Chicago won 10 awards, and I was chosen as Chicago City Developer of the Year. It's just my bad luck that two pieces of financing, two financial institutions really failed, and this project got into this, because this is not my reputation. My project in the city of Chicago, when I was chosen as the Developer of the Year, that's a unique honor. And I was awarded the Crystal Key Award by the Home Builders Association. There is only one award in the whole year to one developer that shows Crystal Key, and I'm the winner of that award. I'm proud of that, and I want to make this village proud of this achievement. And work with me, walk with me, because Rome was not built in a day. In spite of all the vicissitudes, I'm here standing to make this project happen. I don't quit. I am not a quitter, and I will not quit. I'll make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. You can stay up there
Trustee-
if you'd like, sir. Is that okay for another
Yeah, go ahead.
question?
All right, go ahead.
You say you don't quit. What happened to the Bay Inn Apartments in Honolulu? Is that built?
We acquired the land.
Hmm?
We have acquired the land. We are working on.
And then what happened with the Miru Campus of Care? That's complete? All right, because last time I think that was up for auction, wasn't it? Or which one was up for auction last time?
Sir, would you mind if you're, just if you're gonna, talk on, yeah,
You're okay.
okay. Can you, up here? And if you would please state your name.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Terry. I do represent Chicago Design and Build. We start work today at that property. We little bit slow down because weather. So end of this week, we will make it property safety. Looks nice, and I promise you, I will submit by myself full report with pictures and descriptions. I will represent for owner and for building department of the village. And also, we will show you how we planning to cover that's construction area, but it must looks nice. We will show you how we planning to make it that property looks nice during the construction. So by Friday, that information will be here. So I understand a lot of you piss off with this situation, but you have to look at for long term how keep it to this village more taxpayer and nice neighbor. So believe me, we can do that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, any other questions? Okay, good, thank you. Thank you for coming here tonight, we appreciate it, and then we'll, I'm sure we'll be discussing it this week. And any changes need to be made, they'll let you know. Great, thank you, thanks for coming out. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, move on to item 15A, new business. The Community Fund Commission proposed revisions to the Village Code, Section 2-2908. Mr. Hartline.
The Community Fund Focus on Unifying Neighbors Commission seeks to redefine their mission and has made specific recommendations to the board to see how they would like to proceed. Those suggestions are attached. Because the powers and duties are defined in the Village Code in Section 2-2908, this will require an ordinance to be drafted and passed to amend the Village Code. The board may also want to ask the Fund Commission if they want to address the Section 2-2902 to maintain congruence throughout the entire Article 29 of Chapter 2. This could be a place to memorialize the proposed mission statement developed by the Fund Commission. Staff seeks direction such as a motion to draft an ordinance and adopt the proposed changes to Section 2-2908. The board may also make a motion to refer the matter of possible modification of Section 2-2902 back to the Fund Commission. There are members of the Fund Commission here. We could have an ordinance ready on the 13th. I don't know when they meet next, but
The 20th.
they meet. You guys meet? No, I mean the
Oh,
Fund
so- okay,
Commission. I
fine,
know when
okay.
we meet next.
Okay, all right,
So I don't know. There's different possibilities to move forward depending upon the urgency. That's all. That's all I got.
Thank you. Okay, questions, comments from the board? Trustee Kumar.
I would like someone from the Fund Commission to give me details of why they're making these changes and what they would like to do and speak.
Carla Graff. Hello. Probably about a year ago, we were looking at the responsibilities and duties listed on the website. And with the new commission handbook coming out, we thought it would be a good time to address the duties, which at the time we didn't realize were attached to an ordinance. So that's why we started this process. Most of the members on the commission currently are new to that process. So we just wanted to modify the duties to kind of fit more of what we do today with community events and a little less involvement with HOAs, which we kind of all agreed was a little unique. We're not sure where that verbiage came from. So we just made some modifications. We weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. We just wanted it to show a better reflection of what it is that we're doing today.
Trustee Kumar.
I'm very proud of our Fund Commission for taking this effort to make these changes. I know that it will be helpful to get more members in the Fund Commission. I appreciate all you do, and thank you for going through the process and doing the things in a proper manner that we like in Villa Park, and we appreciate any changes you make, making it more updated to current times, and current modus operandi. Thank you.
Trustee Patrick.
Thank you. The Fund Commission, formerly the Pride Commission, this commission has really evolved over the last few years into something really great, a great asset for our community, and the work that you're doing is outstanding, so please keep that up. I think a majority of us here will say that we support you 100% in whatever you are looking to do. I support you with the proposed here, or however you want to do this. Do you think that the commission needs to talk about this further?
So we actually did meet. I don't have the minutes from that meeting to all kind of collaborate on the verbiage here. So they were asked that I present this to all of you through the email that I sent, requesting the revisions in the the vote to make the changes. So I don't think anything further is needed.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee Kumar?
Is this for vote or for discussion only?
It's discussion.
Discussion.
It's not in an ordinance form.
Oh, it's not in ordinance form. So so this is just giving you permission to put it in ordinance form? Basically, we're making a decision to do that?
Yeah,
A
the commission-
commitment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and kind of, I think staff's just kind of looking for direction from the board. Do we want staff to draft the ordinance as written or as changed or however?
Yes, I would like.
We would take a consensus for staff to draft the ordinance. Trustee Kumar?
I would be in favor of drafting this ordinance, certainly. I would also be in favor of our lawyer looking it over to make sure that it's on board of what our essential code should be. And so I'm in favor of it.
Trustee Alfano?
I noticed on the mission statement that there is mention that there are volunteer pursuits in there that you've created there. And I think that that's important because that is part of our strategic plan. I think also that it might, when is the next meeting for the Fund Commission? Since it's May.
28th.
Is the
Tuesday.
28th? It is the 28th, okay. I would suggest making sure that this is presented again to everybody at that meeting. And I would suggest having another look at that, making sure that everybody has eyes on that and has a say on that, and then taking a vote on that. And then I would also be in support of looking to make the changes in the ordinance as well, provided that we have that vote.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Trustee Cordova?
Yeah, I've spent 8 years on commission here in Villa Park, and we kind of did the same thing where the verbiage was antiquated and just didn't make sense, right? Like some of this like homeowners association pamphlets instead of like internet stuff. So yeah, no, I'd be in total favor of this. And also it just helps get more people involved. I know that there's a lot of new folks on this commission, so it is the way of getting more and more people involved. So yes, this is great.
Thank you.
Do we need to change that at all? Okay. Okay. Trustee Alfano?
Yes, I just have one more comment just about the draft that we have for the commission handbook. I would encourage all of our commissions to take a look at that and make sure that what is in there is what, it reflects what is happening on those commissions. I know that we have looked at some of the voting quorums and the math on some of that. It's just like a table in the back, and I think we should probably look at some of the math on that again. I know for the Fund Commission, we have 2 junior members, but it does say that we have 9 voting members and that 7 is a quorum. I'm not sure that that's accurate. It's in a table, it's not in the code. But we just want to make sure that that is reflective of what we expect commissioners to follow.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Trustee Kumar?
I am happy that we are getting this booklet together and the commissions are being vested with information that makes it easier for them to cross-communicate with us. I'm very happy with that. We have that as an impetus. I've been advocating for that for some months now, and I'm happy to see the progress.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, we need a motion on that?
The consensus.
Just
I mean, it's, in the agenda, it's requested as a motion, and then
Okay.
we'll certainly know the direction of the board, so a motion is
Okay.
appropriate.
Okay, so we have a motion to get a consensus on directing staff to draft the ordinance.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay. Second, Trustee
I'll second
Patrick?
that.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, Clerk Konecki, this is for the consensus.
Right, Trustee Kumar.
Yes.
Trustee Patrick.
Yes.
Trustee Kozar.
Yes.
Trustee Alfano.
Yes.
Trustee Corkery.
Yes.
Trustee Cordova.
Yes.
President Kazone.
Yes. Okay. Let's get your marching orders, and so do we. Okay, we will move on. Item 17, Village Clerk's report.
No report.
Okay. Village Trustees report. We'll start on my left. Trustee Alfano.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I hope that everyone celebrating had a nice Mother's Day. We had really great weather for it. I know that we had, since our last meeting, we did have the Prairie Path cleanup, thanks to those of you who came out to celebrate. And also, it is the month of the cicada here in Villa Park. So if you are able, pick up your coloring sheet and get it colored. And hopefully they look a little bit nicer than what I think the real ones will look like. I'm a big nope on those. But turn them into local businesses. You can take a look at the Fun Commission's Facebook page for more information on where you can turn that in. And also Kites and Kicks is coming up on June 9th. So look for information on that as well. That's all I have to
Okay, thank you. Trustee Kumar.
I'd like to say that Spring Sweep is this weekend. I enjoyed being there last time. I know they're still looking for volunteers, and it is a great occasion to get rid of stuff that you do not want in your garage. Being the pack rat of the century, I am mainly looking forward to clearing out part of my stuff. I ask that you guys look through the list. It's a great recycling opportunity. Get your bulbs there. They've had so many different kind of activities. Shred all that garbage that you have in your file cabinets that have been sitting there for 20 years. This is your chance. Villa Park, get out there to spring sweep and sweep out parts of your house. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Corkery.
No report this week.
Hey, Trustee Patrick.
Good evening, Villa Park. Thank you. First of all, I would like to wish all the mothers out there a happy belated Mother's Day. It was a gorgeous day out there. I hope you had the opportunity to enjoy it. Second of all, earlier today we had the proclamation for May being Military Appreciation Month. I highly recommend that on Memorial Day, you come out to Cortese Park to see the village's service at 11 a.m. Don't want to miss that one. And lastly, it's no secret that I am a huge supporter of our first responders out here in town. And I ask that if you share the same support for our first responders, that this Friday from 5 a.m. to noon, at the Dunkin' Donuts on North Avenue, you come out to support our first responders for the Cop on a Roof for 2024. And the cool thing about that is that all the proceeds that are generated from that, they go to the Special Olympics of Illinois. I've been out there a couple of times to see it. It's a great time. They've got some merchandise you could help purchase to support their cause as well. But again, if you support our first responders, I ask that you come out there and support them, Cop on a Roof, this Friday from 5 a.m. to noon at the Dunkin' Donuts on North Avenue. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Cordova.
Yeah, Parks and Rec Commission meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Iowa Community Center. That's all I have.
Okay, quick. Just goes there.
No report.
Okay. We'll go to President's report. A couple of items with our police department. Our Sergeant Brian Ruby was honored by the VFW recently with the Certificate of Appreciation for his dedication and service. I think Sergeant's been on the force for 15 or 20 years, and he just made Sergeant a few months ago, so congratulations to him. He's a great supporter of Villa Park and a great cop, so congratulations to him. And our Chief Rivas was just nominated as Chairman of the Executive Board for Merit, the Metropolitan Emergency Response and Investigation Team. So congratulations, Chief. And speaking of police incidents, we did have a terrible event a couple of weeks ago, a domestic where it turned fatal. And a lot involved in that, but there's a lot of ways if you are involved in any kind of domestic abuse. Obviously, 911 will get you out, but if it's a long-term situation, Phone number for DuPage County for their family services is 630-469-5650. So if you are a victim, definitely reach out to those options and get some help as soon as you can, and reach out to anyone you can, friends, family. I want to thank staff. They had their appreciation lunch this Thursday, Public Works, and Director Guerra and the Assistant Director, blinking. Thank you, Rich Salerno. Did all the cooking, and Assistant Manager McVeigh and Patty Ruiz were out there helping, and Chuck was out there serving food, but it was excellent. It was a really nice way to get staff together and really get a sense of bonding with staff, all the different departments. So thank you to all, and it was a great deal. And obviously, spring sweep has been brought up already. And I'd like to end with one shout out to a local runner. Courtney Bracker Navarro conquers the Boston Marathon for charity. Our village resident, Courtney Bracker Navarro, achieved a personal goal on April 15, 2024 by completing the prestigious Boston Marathon. Marathon's been on her bucket list since she was bitten by the marathon bug in 2005. While she qualified for the race with an impressive time of 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 26 seconds, her motivation went beyond personal achievement. She chose to run in support of 261 Fearless, a charity founded by Catherine Switzer, the first woman to officially register and compete in the Boston Marathon. 261 Fearless empowers women through running, a cause close to Navarro's heart as a personal trainer and volunteer girls running coach. Her dedication to the cause was evident as she raised a remarkable $9,000 for the charity. Her accomplishment at Boston adds another chapter to impressive running career. She's conquered 5 of the 6 major marathons: Berlin, Chicago, London, New York, and Boston, with only Tokyo remaining to complete the set. She's a proud graduate of Willowbrook High School, class of '95. She's a well-rounded athlete during her high school years. She actively participated in cross-country, track and field, basketball, cheerleading, and was even the homecoming queen. Okay, with that, I will turn it over to the village manager.
Most of the things I was going to say have already been said about spring sweep and cop on a rooftop this Friday, 5 a.m. to noon. I will say that we have received an interesting invitation to participate in a arts project along the trail. I'll share some more information with you later. Looking for both private and public donations. For $5,000, we can have an Olmec, Olmec head, not in the original basalt, but created for one of our spots along the trail. It's a project that DuPage, College of DuPage is coordinating, and more information by next week. So,
Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Item 21, executive session. Pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/20 C11 regarding litigation, when action against, affecting, or on behalf of the village has been filed and is pending before a court, or when the village finds that an action is probable or imminent, and pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 C21 regarding discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06. We have a motion for executive session. Trustee Kumar, we have a second. Trustee Alfano? Okay, questions? Okay, Clerk Renecke.
Trustee Kozar?
Yes.
Trustee Cordova?
Yes.
Trustee Alfano?
Yes.
Trustee Corkery?
Yes.
Trustee Petrick?
Yes.
Trustee Kumar?
Yes.
President Kazone?
Yes, and we will adjourn our regular meeting out of executive session, so we will not return back here. Should have added it at the beginning. But we will see everyone here next week. Our regular meeting would normally be the 27th, but that is Memorial Day, so we will be back here on the 20th. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.